Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem recorded by the SCHS Band. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the class of 2021.
Wow, this is an image. Class of 2021, please be seated. Good afternoon. My name is Billy Parker, and I have the good fortune to serve as Assistant Superintendent for Scott County Schools. On behalf of Superintendent Dr. Kevin Hubb, School Board Chair Diana Brooker, School Board Vice Chair Susan Duncan, School Board Member Joanna Fryman, School Board Member Kevin Kidwell, and School Board Member Stephanie Powers, I would like to welcome the family and friends of our graduates, as well as the Scott County Schools faculty and staff, to the first ever graduation ceremony held here at Bird's Nest Stadium for Scott County High School. In attendance with us today, we have School Board Chair Diana Brooker and School Board Member Stephanie Powers. Thank you all for your attendance. The focus of our program is squarely on these young men and women seated on this field before me. So at this time, our senior student council officers will be making their way to the stage. These class officers will provide reflections on the high school experience of the class of 2021. Help me give a comforting cardinal welcome to the officer providing us with insight into these graduates' freshman year. Please welcome Jesus Juarez.
I'd like to start this off with a quote. Education is the passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to the people who prepare for it today. This quote means so much to me, as not only does it reflect the power of education, but it reflects my time here spent at Scott County High School. As soon as I entered this school, I knew my life would take a turn. I was surrounded by so many people, so nice. As our freshman year consisted of its ups and downs, we would soon learn that we would be the end of an era in which we would lose 7 periods, and freshmen would no longer be in the freshman center. I would like to close this as saying that so many people don't understand their moment. We need to appreciate every moment given to us. This is our moment, our time. Thank you, Scott County High School. I would like to welcome Sean Eifert to reflect on our sophomore year. Thank you.
Good morning, class of 2021, families and faculty and staff. I have many fond memories of my sophomore year, but the best among them was the new sense of individuality I felt. Stepping into a new setting at school and no longer being in what was then the 9th grade center was something I think we all found both intimidating and refreshing. The new feeling of not being the smallest fish in the pond gave us a new sense of self, one in which we saw ourselves fitting into a larger school, perhaps more easily than in freshman year. Throughout our schooling, the class of 21 have been guinea pigs to change. This was the year we were introduced to card time, a year in which we saw the end of the 9th grade center, and much more. Though card time made scheduling challenging, it gave us the opportunity to enroll ourselves in classes that we wanted to participate in, or gave us opportunities to study when we needed to. This adaptability to our schedule made a period where we could do what we needed or wanted to do for 35 minutes during a very long and stressful school day. But much more than this, our sophomore year allowed us to become more comfortable in high school and gave us a newfound role in a school we felt alienated from for a large amount of our freshman year. The 9th grade center, though a protective and easy setting for learning, was isolating and secluded us from others at school. Now that we weren't conformed to the ninth grade center, we were able to become more invested in the culture surrounding the school. We were able to become more invested in the culture surrounding the school and along with the traditions deep-seated within that culture. We could finally say we weren't freshmen, which was something a lot of us were very thankful for. We became more affiliated and built our relationship with the school even more. This was the year we got more involved. We put ourselves out there and found our footing, making many long-lasting friendships and memories along the way. Always remember the individuality and sense of community you learned in sophomore year. It will get you far. No matter how small you feel in this large world, you will always have a place and a role to grow into. Congratulations and thank you. I would now like to welcome Allie Viney to reflect on junior year pre-COVID-19.
We started junior year fragmented, having been split between Scott County and Great Crossing High School. We felt the excitement of finally being upperclassmen, finally in the second half of high school, while still looking around wondering where half of our classmates and friends went. Still, we made the best of it. We found unity and friendly rivalries with our friends at Great Crossing. We spent sophomore year building roots within SCHS and junior year using those roots to keep our connections between the two schools alive. We made sure that the relationships we worked so hard to build weren't overcome by a change of mascots. Our class was faced with yet another change which altered the entire structure of our school, and we overcame it. While maintaining relationships with Great Crossing, we continued to grow within our own school, slowly becoming not only participants, but leaders. We became more invested and involved in the culture of SCHS, now not only following traditions, but also guiding underclassmen along the way. We had the ability to participate in anything we wanted, free to explore a world of possibilities unrestricted by mask mandates and capacity limits. Our class has had an ever-changing sense of normal. Every year has brought new challenges to overcome, and after each year, we've been rocked to the core by bigger and bigger changes. First, it was transitions out of the ninth grade center, then the addition of car time, and finally having our class cut in half. Finally, life decided to throw our class one last curveball, the biggest curveball yet. Here to reflect on part 2 of junior year, I give you Evan Spencer.
As we sit here, burning and stewing, it's important to remember March 13th, 2020, arguably the last day of normal times. And while we enjoyed a couple weeks of time off, what followed was a mixture of masks, NTI, and more quarantine. Quarantine brought many things to many people. You could start a show, go to the gym, or not go to the gym, or you could have achieved herd immunity in your little friend group. But just as the body becomes stronger after it is broken, so too will our class and generation come out of this stronger, more experienced, and with more than one interesting story. As we remember this part of our junior year, let us not think of it as time wasted or pointless, but as many opportunities to strengthen ourselves and get around a new sense of community and lifestyle. Kaylee Hunt will now shed some light on our senior year.
I've always viewed senior year as the year I was going to truly have fun before having to grow up. Both inside and out of the classroom, I was ready for a fun, easygoing year. With the sudden interruption of our junior year, I think we had all hoped that eventually things would have subsided by the time it was our turn. And when that didn't happen, I knew myself and many of my fellow classmates were devastated. The majority of the first half of our senior year was spent online through a computer screen. In the age of Zoom classes, canceled social events, and quarantine, we lost the ability to connect with both ourselves and each other. I know I spent 75% of the year virtual, and this past week of senior activities has really reminded me of just how much time has gone by since I last saw my peers and teachers, and it has also made me realize just how much of the last 2 years of my high school experience were taken away. You know, in middle school, I had an English teacher, one I'm sure many of you may know, Miss Willow Hambrick, who taught us all a very important phrase, and yet. It's full of possibility. We have endured all these challenges and misfortunes, and yet here we are. Here's how far we've come, and look at all we've learned. She says to her, the phrase offers the potential for grace, change, and learning. And I think that's beautiful. That truly encapsulates everything we've been through this past year. We lived through a huge historical event, a global pandemic that's taken so much from so many of us, and yet, here we are. Together, ready to take this next step towards our futures. Class of 2021, I am immensely proud of all of us. And with that, I now introduce the class president, Caroline Burton, to reflect on the second half of our senior year.
In the latter half of senior year, we all started to feel the distant rumble of change approaching. We began announcing where we were attending college, choosing our majors, and starting a search for roommates. It was hard to be present when the future was pulling us with such certainty. And if you were anything like me, you began to look at the faces around you and realize that in the near future, these people that we have been consistently with for the last 4 years will no longer be present in our everyday lives. As the year progressed further and further, the interactions between peers became more precious. We started to cherish all of our time spent together. And now, as we are about to become graduates of Scott County High School, I hope you look around and revel in all of the connections you have made and realize how much you and your peers have impacted each other's lives. Although our time together was brief in the grand scheme of things, I hope you all use what you have learned as you enter in the next chapter of life. Walt Whitman said, "It seems to me that everything in the light and air ought to be happy." And if this year has been a testament to anything, it has shown that no matter the circumstances, no matter how bleak, there is always a means of finding the light and finding joy. If we could find the light in this year, we can find it anywhere. Thank you.
Maddie is the daughter of Jesse and Libby Zahiri. Maddie has attended First Presbyterian in Frankfort, Northern Elementary, Scott Middle School, and Scott County High School. Maddie was in the Biomed Village at ECS, involved in HOSA, NHS, FCCLA, and Beta Club. Maddie has been with the Georgetown Scott County swim team for 9 years and swam with the Scott County swim team for 6 years. She was a 2020 attendee of the Governor's Scholar for Entrepreneurs. Please welcome the valedictorian for the class of 2021, Madeleine Frances Zahiri.
Good morning, everyone. I'd like to start by saying welcome and also thanking some people on behalf of the class of 2021. Thank you to all of our friends, families, and the staff and faculty of Scott County High School, as well as Elkhorn Crossing School. Without all of you, we would not be where we are today. The average graduation speech consists of the speaker reflecting back on high school memories and what they mean for us going forward. So it should come to no surprise to any of you that that's exactly what I will be doing today. However, considering I was still in high school 2 days ago, I realize I may have not had the time to process everything that's happened. But who better to know the true meaning of high school than the adults who have had time to reflect on their own experiences and also continue to return to high school every day, also known as our teachers. I asked a few what they thought we would miss the most about the past 4 years. One said we're going to miss all of the wonderful memories we've made with our friends because it's such an easy environment to meet new people. Another said we will miss the amount of firsts we have because there are so many new experiences we've been through in high school, some we don't even yet realize. But my favorite was that we are going to miss the optimism because in our eyes, the possibilities have been endless and we've been able to dream of being anyone we want to be. The point I'm trying to make by reading these to you is that we are turning the chapter of a really special part of our story, and I think we will reflect on our journey together for a really long time. There's a quote from one of my favorite shows, and any fans of The Office will hopefully appreciate this, but Andy Bernard says, "I wish there was a way to know you were in the good old days before you've actually left them." I don't say this to make you sad, but I say this so that you'll take advantage. Whether you're leaving for college in the fall, enlisting next week, or starting in the workforce tomorrow, we're all coming up on our last moments together. Our last little while at home before we leave our families, and our last few times with our friends before they become our friends from back home. So I encourage you to realize we are still in the good old days and to enjoy them while they last, because as we've seen these past 4 years, time really does fly by. Class of 2021, it's been amazing, and I truly wish you all the best of luck in all your future endeavors. Thank you.
Please rise for the playing of My Old Kentucky Home. You may be seated. A special thank you to the Scott County High School chorus and band who recorded those last two songs that you just heard. And now for a special presentation.
Good morning. My name is Amanda Wands, and I am a former teacher at Scott County High School and now a current principal for Scott County Schools.
And my name is Jennifer Marshall, and I have worked at Scott County High School for 25 years.
We are here today to introduce the presentation of a very special honor to a graduating senior, the Marie Jones Service Award. This scholarship is awarded in the memory of a very dear colleague, Miss Marie Jones. Miss Jones retired a few years back after 60 years in education. For 58 of those years, she organized and supervised the Scott County High School graduation ceremony and all the related senior class and graduation events. I'll say that again. She ran our graduation for 58 years. Miss Jones has since passed on after an exemplary life of selfless and energetic service. Several years ago, we started recognizing a graduating senior who shows the same kind of grit and commitment to the service of their school and community as did Marie Jones. As is fitting, this person is recognized during the graduation commencement ceremony that Miss Jones nurtured for more than half a century.
The recipient of the Marie Jones Service Award doesn't yet know they're the winner, nor do they know they are a candidate, so this will be a surprise. The Scott County High School class of 2021 is full of accomplished, service-oriented graduates, and so many of them are deserving of recognition. This year, the Marie Jones Service Award is presented to a student who all agree demonstrates the highest ideal of community and school service. This year's winner of the Marie Jones Service Award is Kaylee Wise.
Kaylee, please come forward. Ladies and gentlemen, one more round of applause for this year's service winner, Kaylee Wise.
So before we get to the moment that you've all been waiting for, I need to recognize two young ladies in particular. These young ladies came to the awards ceremony this week, and unfortunately, we made a mistake, and we want to correct it now. So can I have the following ladies please stand? Miss Nyla Nims. She is receiving the 4-year trustee scholarship from U of L. Miss Tyler Leahy. She is receiving Merit Scholarship, Governor Scholar, Harmon Business, and Thompson Business. Let's give it up for these ladies one more time. Ladies and gentlemen, there are events in our lives that demand a high degree of decorum and dignity. We believe that this is one such milestone for our graduates. Please hold all applause, whistling, and cheers until each graduate has had their moment on stage. It is extremely important that every graduate have his or her name announced clearly. Loud applause for a student may make it difficult to hear the next graduate's name. I would also like to ask that at this time, cell phones be turned off or silenced. Mr. Parker, the students seated before you today have met all requirements for graduation as set forth by the Kentucky State Department of Education and the Scott County Board of Education. I submit to you the graduating class of 2021 for the presentation of diplomas.
Madeleine Frances Zahiri. Caroline Elise Burton. Jesus Alberto Juarez. Allison Christine Viney. Kaylee Madison Hunt. Sean Mitchell Eifert. Evan Wells Spencer. Colin Edgar Adams. Lauren Grace Agee. Robert Grant Akers. Isabel Christine Alanis. Jackson Payne Albenzi. Diana Laura Alvarado Iniguez. Stephen Christopher Reese. Zachary Bryant Anderson. Abdiel Jose Arroyo. Carson Elena Ayers. Caleb Thomas Bailey. Joseph Austin Baker. Christopher Brady Ballard. Kylie D. Whitney Bartholomew. Andrew Morgan Batten. Jasmine Elizabeth Bear. Nathan Justice Bear. Braxton Charles Bender. Elijah John Benz. Emily Olivia Burnt. Jonathan Houston Berry. Raven Chanel Berry. Mia Marie Best. Jacob Ryan Bingham. Shelby J. Black. Samuel Dean Blanton. Christopher Julian Bogus. Aiden Michael Boley. Rebecca Lynn Bolte. Joshua Scott Bourne. Chase Anthony Bowman. Joseph Aaron Branca. Haley Brooke Brenniger. Hayden Michael Britch. Sierra Michelle Brown. Elizabeth Brooke Brugensmith. Benjamin Chase Burchett. Haley Rochelle Butler. Riley Redfern Cabianca. Brooke Leanne Carpenter. Mackenzie Page Cottle. Leah Michaela Sharon. Dante Christopher Chenault. Shelby Lee Chin. Bryce Edward Chisley. Caleb Gregory Clark. Ashton Lovin Claiborne. Emma Grace Cochran. Bradley Andrew Robert Cole. Lacey Nicole Coleman. James Daniel Collins. Jackson Kern Comer. Colby Lee Conley. Natalie Grace Conley. Leighton Andrew Connerly. Clark Allen Conrad. Kayla Marie Conyers. Evan Alexander Craig. Hayden Wayne Davis. Tony Marie Day. Danny Diego Ibarra. Delia Diego Ibarra. Brooklyn Renee Douglas. Michael Philip Duncan. Simeon Isaiah Dunn. Sarah Jane Duplanty. Taylor Brooke Epps. Lindsay Nicole Etheridge. David Carl Farrow. Anna Grace Ferguson. Josiah Haddon Fink. Darian Marie Fitzpatrick. Ethan Klein Flanders. Eduardo Flores Estrada. Carson Michael Flowers. Haley Annette Fryman.
Jalen Cole Gallagher. Olivia K. Gallagher. Bianca Mae Gibson. Brooke Ashley Goldie. Ashlyn Ann Greenwood. Michael Chase Grigsby. Madison Page Hackworth. Morgan Marie Hagan. Abigail Renee Hall. Noah Benton Hall. Kanan William Halsey. Keegan Reese Harrison. Catherine Elizabeth Hellman. Benjamin Riley Helton. Micah James Harold. Kevin Stonell Herbert. Jesus Hernandez Gonzalez. Chloe Cheyenne Hinton. Thomas Jeffrey Hooven. Ella Grace Huber. Lucas Maxwell Jackson. Vicky Jo May Jackson. Logan Jacob Jean. Joshua Thomas Jeffries. Logan Bryce Jenkins. Morgan Cheyenne Jones. Lillian Ray Justice. Eliza Grace Keith. Kiwan Kennedy. Nathaniel James Kidd. Dakota Lee King. Casey Alvin Klein. Summer Elizabeth Ann Lally. Benjamin Trey Lancaster. Ashton Ty Lanham. Cameron Gregory Lay. Waylon Bradley Lay. Tyler Reese Leahy. Autumn Lou Leslie. Cody J. Lester. Sarah Vivian Levy. Sydney Elizabeth Lewis. Lewis Lynn. Davis Kirk Lineberger. Matthias Wayne Linville. Rachel Elizabeth Lovely. Erin Elizabeth Luckett. Alexandria M. Lunsford. Caitlin Alicia Lutter. Sarah Mackenzie Majors. Caleb Haynes Mahoney. Jacob Emmanuel Marion. Olivia Ann Martin. Natasha Angelique Martinez. Erica Taney Martinez Villanueva. Kendra Blake McBrayer. Hunter Michael McClanahan. Samantha Ray McClanahan. Caden Tedrick McConaughey. Joanna Lynn McGill. Ava Grace McLone. Ella Grace McMillan. Sarah Elizabeth Miller. Megan Ashley Moore. Kahana Stephanie Morris. Devin Tyler Morris Dunn. Julie Mutakariza. Lacey Yvette Murphy. Nyla Chase Nims. Alicia Elizabeth Nolasco. Zane Hassan Ogle. Olivia Paige Onheiser. Reagan Brooke Oliver.
Caitlin Sage Parker. Sarah Elizabeth Parker. Eric Dushawn Parks. Niyati Patel. Logan Zane Patton. Caleb John Payne. Jenna Renee Pierce. Robert Landon Peck. Christian Miguel Pena. Roberto Perez. Skylar Madison Perry. Madison Lynn Peters. Justin Taylor Phillips. Benjamin Stephen Gage Potter. Caroline Rose Preston. Kennedy Marie Preston. Jasmine Marie Reyes. David Alexander Rice. Justina Addison Rice. Elias William Richardson. Leanne Omara Rivera. Ella Grace Roberts. Jacob Austin Robinson. Alexis May Roby. Abby Lynn Rogers. Stephen Scott Rogers. Gabriel Alexandru Roman. Sierra Lee Roman. David Scott Russell. Tommy Ann Russell. James Ronald Shear. Robert Frank Schaefer. Brianne Nicole Shipley. Sabrina Lynn Shrout. Harrison Meyer Siegel. Shayna Nicole Sinsel. Trevor Scott Sizemore. Kiana Merce Slaughter. Emily Ann Smith. Owen Michael Smith. Ryan Christopher Smith. Emily K. Spencer. Olivia Diane Spencer. Josiah Matthew Spoor. Fallon Ray Stacy. Jacob Daniel Stanley. Destiny Ryan Stevens. Alexis K. Stidham. Allison Healy Stone. William Chase Stumbo. Zachary Bain Sutherland. Cade Landon Tackett. Haley Wilson Tackett. Joseph Garland Tackett. Landon Brooks Toyer. Morgan Rose Thompson. Sheldon Paul Throckmorton. Kennedy Tanae Tompkins. Landon Isaiah Trammell. Farah Lene Juanita Turner. Jonathan Franklin Turner. Kyle Mitchell Van Valkenburg. Olivia Caroline Watchter. Peyton Madison Waldridge. Cameron Wade Walker. Tyler Allen Walker. Jackie Lee Wash. Taylor Jade Weatherford Ruark. Kaylee Grace Weaver. Sydney Rose Welch. Jacob Philip West. Charles Newton Wilcox IV. Skylar Elizabeth Williams. Matthew Robert Wilson. Catherine Teresa Winburn. Kaylee Bell Wise. Spencer Daniel Wood. Hannah Sierra Worrell. Anthony Jacob Young. Jasmine Leanne Young. Ashley Elizabeth Zender. Ella Finley. Abigail Hope Flynn. Andrew Noah Gore. Josh Campton Kevin Martin.
One sec.
Alrighty, y'all.
All right, Caroline. I'm gonna wait for him to get to his seat.
Yeah.
That's what Miss Collins said.
Good point.
Smart gay. And I think that's it.
Okay, would the graduates please rise? Now join me in turning the tassel from the right to the left. I now pronounce you graduates of Scott County High School. You want to throw the cap?
On three.
Okay. Okay.
On three. On three. On three.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.